I resist the usual by working for myself, said David McQueen. Welcome. I know, messing up the place, honestly. Welcome.
Lovely necklace, it's beautiful.
Oh, thank you so much. Sorry?
And I love the timbre of your voice.
Oh, thanks. I'm getting away.
Acting vocal coaching.
I'm about to fall off the stage.
Well, I was going to say prosody, but nobody would have understood that. You know, so I was thinking
Do you need us to leave the room?
Wow.
No,
it's a
before this goes any further, husband of one, father of two, friend of many. I'm going to continue. A storyteller made in Britain, designed in the Caribbean and sourced from Africa.
There you go.
I love that. Can I borrow it?
Yes,
maybe?
you can.
Yeah, thank you. I work with people who realised that life is not a dress rehearsal and they have to do what they love now and do it well. Can I have an amen up in here?
Hold on.
Oh,
I'm coming closer.
Okay.
You see, here's the thing you got to understand, okay? When you're a man and you're confident enough in the love that you have, you never feel threatened around another woman, and another woman will never feel threatened around you. Just letting you know that. Right, here we go now. Sorry.
Lovely. Okay, so
Yes.
how are you?
I'm good. I'm a bit tired today, but I'm good. I'm good.
Yeah. So resist the usual.
Yes.
Give us an honest answer. Yes. How has your day genuinely been?
Today it has been tiring. I've been working on a number of projects. Actually, the morning started off really well because this year I reconnected with which was one of my favourite teachers in school. He was my head of year.
Oh, wow.
And I reconnected with him over Twitter, as you do. And we've met a couple of times this year, and it's really amazing how things he inspired me to do some 30 odd years ago and stuff that he said to me in my life now I'm actually doing them. So we had a really good breakfast, but then I was working on some projects and I was actually quite knackered, but you don't ever tell Natalia that you're tired when she has an event. You get your ass in gear and you come down here. So I'm good. I'm
after some people after this event.
That's right.
So what inspired reconnecting with your teacher over Twitter? Did you seek him out?
No, he found me. He found me. I was in a debate with somebody. Actually, I was burying somebody. Actually,
Twitter
verbally.
debate.
Yes.
All right.
I went going hammer and tongs on this educationalist about something. He's called. I don't like using the term disadvantage for young people. I hate it. Most people who know me know I really hate that term. I don't look at any young person as disadvantaged because I think yes, no matter if you haven't got any money or emotion or all the rest of it, those are challenges that you have. But I don't consider you disadvantaged because I think if you apply that label in your mind, you already start to treat that person in that way. And so we were having this big debate, and this guy came on board. He goes, "Oh, you remind me of somebody when I was a teacher in school who's very outspoken like you." I said, what school were you at then? No. He said, I taught in Harrow. I said, I went to school in Harrow. He said, yeah. He said, what school did you go to? I said, I went to Whitmore. He goes, and I looked at his name and I was like, oh my God, Mr. O'Brien's like, yeah. So he's like, I thought you were following me, and I follow back really quick. And yeah, so that was like that was about March, and we've met for breakfast about 3 or 4 times since.
Lovely.
It's been absolutely brilliant.
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
Great. Twitter, what a connector of people.
Indeed.
Okay, so we found out a little bit, and this is something that I'm asking everyone. You may have picked up, but so who are you?
Who am I? I'm still working that out. I'm a work in progress. I am. And I think anybody who's found themselves already, I'm happy for you. But for me, I'm still figuring it out. You know, I think a number of years ago, I went through what I call a spiritual experience where I dropped certainty. And I got no idea. I'm totally uncertain. I don't deal with certainty anymore. Okay, obviously, end of the month, I'm uncertain. I need to pay my bills, you know. Okay, right. But generally, in that spiritual realm, I know what I bring to the table, but I'm still discovering myself. So at the time, I'm a rebel rouser. I've got a big heart for people. I love people. I speak my mind. I'm very opinionated, aren't I, Darren? I'll go, if we connect, I'll go the extra mile for you. And at the heart of everything I do is my family. Love my family.
Oh, that's beautiful. I keep saying that, but
that's all right.
You know, there's some beautiful things coming out this evening. So you have dropped certainty, but do you still have a to-do list? And if you do, what are 3 things that are always on there?
Every morning I start with gratitude. Every single morning I start my morning by meditating for at least 10 to 15 minutes. I'm trying to get to half an hour. And then I start my day with my journal. I write in my journal. Sometimes I write in my hand one, but if I don't want my wife to see it, I put it in Evernote. And I write every day, and I write the things that I'm really grateful for. So today I'll give you 5 things. I am grateful for my family, I'm grateful for life, I'm grateful for water, I'm grateful for my friends, and I'm grateful for shelter. I'll do the 3 things you asked me for.
No, I did ask you for 3.
Oh,
yeah, but I was kind of going with those 5. That was your gratitude.
And then I have my week is my diary is worked out from Sunday. On Sunday I block in my diary for the week. So I do that on a Sunday evening as much as I can. And
you did give us 3. You realise that?
Did I?
Yeah.
But it's kind of like an overarching thing. So gratitude.
So gratitude, the meditating.
Gratitude and meditating come together. They're kind of like a
potpourri. Okay. Sorry. Okay. Carry on then.
Yeah. And exercise. It's very important for me to keep fit.
So what's your exercise of choice?
Of choice is walking. Because my 6-pack turned into a party pack, it's the gym. That's my secondary one. Yeah.
What do you do in the gym?
Gym work. Okay.
What are you doing?
Sitting
in the sauna?
No. I actually proper do either a combination of cardio and the actual weights. And I'll be honest with you, at my base, I really hate the gym. I don't know if anybody else goes to the gym, but I really hate it. Did anybody else go to the gym?
No, but I hate it.
But anybody else go to the gym and hate it? Be honest with me, okay? Because you go there and it is like Vanity Square, and the thing is you can't help it. And I go there and I'm like, oh, look at these tossers, and then in the summer I turn into white t-shirt man. I'm like, David Tosser, oh my God, with the V-neck thing, because I realised I was getting a bit of abs and I was walking out, my daughters are looking at me like, oh my God, Dad, really? White t-shirt jeans. I started wearing skinny jeans for crying out loud. Yeah, but it's. I tell you what I do like though. What I do like is that I had a personal trainer. I say had. I'm gonna go back and start working with him, but I just needed to get my head in that space. But one thing I will say I love about the gym is that I realise, like anything else in life, if you're going to commit to do it, and I work and I mentor and I work with a lot of people, and the one thing I always say is if I always give a lot of challenges, and I say these are the things you've got to be done. I'm a bit of a taskmaster. I can feel 2 people thinking I'm a bit of a taskmaster in the room as a mentor, but I like people to get some stuff done, and I think I'm not being genuine or my authentic self unless I go and do the same in the stuff that I'm doing. So even though I hate it, and a lot of stuff that makes you successful is actually quite mundane, but you still need to do it in order to be successful. So yeah.
Great. Okay, so that's some of the things that you have on your to-do list.
Yes.
And then how about some of the habits that you would rather not have upon yourself? Things that you do that you are
I'm not going
ashamed
there.
of. Go there.
Habits?
Yeah, bad habits.
Oh my God.
Do you have any?
Snickers. I eat way too many Snickers. And I'm actually trying
How many?
How
A
many?
week, a day?
Well, my daughter went out and
is
bought me a
this
3-pack on Monday. It didn't get to Tuesday, put it that way, because I ate them on the Monday.
Oh wow!
And I speak out. I don't like injustice, and sometimes I need to let stuff pass. I don't have, as my mum says, you don't have to go to every fight that you're invited to. But if I see somebody, one thing I don't like on like say for example on Twitter, if any of my female friends are getting trolled or attacked by somebody on there, I go in. And I proper go in.
Wow.
I'm like, don't, seriously, if you're ready for a fight, ready, and people are, whoa. I go, listen mate, I've worked with people in IT, I'll find your IP address, and tomorrow morning I'll be outside of your window.
So this is our go-to guy.
Guys are like blocking me, like, what the hell? Yeah, no, because again, as I said, I've seen, in all seriousness, I've known 2 female friends of mine who actually had to come off the internet altogether
Yeah.
because they were being doxxed. For those of you know what doxing is?
No.
So doxing is when people release your actual personal details.
Oh, wow.
So where people they release your family's details, where you live. Sometimes it might be your bank account. It's gone to that extent, and that's happened to 2 people who I've known. And so for me, I'm like, look, I can't sit down there and tolerate that. And a couple of my friends say, Dave, look, just chill, because sometimes you might go and you might intervene with somebody who you don't want to know. And I'm going, listen, I work in prisons and youth offending schemes. Who's going to mess with me? Okay.
Especially in that white t-shirt.
Hey, in that t-shirt with a V. Okay, right. But yeah, I think sometimes I need to pull back on that.
Okay, so you said did you say it was your mum who says you don't have to go to every fight you're invited?
Yeah, my mum said you don't have to go to every fight you're invited.
Okay, so is that the motto that you live by? Do you have a motto that is your go-to motto?
My motto is every day do at least one thing good for one person. That's my motto.
Okay.
You've done
Every
it for
day.
Natalia.
Huh?
You've done it for Natalia. Today you did.
Yes. Wow.
Yeah.
What happened? Okay, all right. Okay, we'll talk about that after we do that. Okay. Yeah.
So can you maybe give us an example of a good thing that you have done, which perhaps we wouldn't expect?
On last week, I had to go and speak at an event, and I was in my suit, and I was coming back, and there was a guy who said, "Can you get me some money? Can I have some money, please, mate?" And I said, "Well, I'm not going to give you any money, but I'll buy you some food." And there was somebody who was walking back with me to the station, so I said, he said, "What you going to get?" I said, "I'm going to go and buy some food. What would you like? I can come with me, or I can get you." He said, "Oh, well," and I went and I got some food from a nameless coffee shop. Got me panini and I don't even know those drinks, latte, jubi, wati, because I don't really drink coffee. And so I brought it back to him, but my friend was there, and I said, "Look, go catch your train." And I sat down with him, just near King's Cross. I sat down with him, and we started to have a conversation, because for me, there was something about that guy that I couldn't leave him there at that point in time. And he goes, "Are you talking to me?" He goes, "You're going to dirty your suit." I go, "It's the suit, man. I can put it in the dry cleaners. It's all right. Don't worry about it." And we had this conversation. We probably spoke for about half an hour. And a lot of people who are homeless have got great stories. But sometimes we're too busy doing what we've got to do to actually sit down and have that conversation. And as a result of having the conversation with him, I actually got him, there was a home, a shelter just around the corner from King's Cross, and I went there, and I knew the person or one of the people in the team who was there, and I just said, "Look, can you just sort him out?" And they said, "Oh, well, you know," if I said, "Look, I'll cover it." And they go, no, Dave, don't worry about it. I said, and they basically were able to cover him for at least 5 nights. I don't know what happened after there, but for me, that was a small part of me being able to do what I do all the time and go, that's a person. I'm very blessed, I'm very fortunate, I'm surrounded by some fantastic friends and colleagues, and there are some people who aren't as fortunate as me, so, you know,
Great thing.
do that.
Lovely, thank you
Okay.
for sharing that. Okay, so this is how you have supported someone else and
Yes.
done an amazing thing. So how about yourself? How do you treat yourself?
What do you mean? Look after myself?
Yeah, well, treat yourself.
I love the sauna.
Or is it the Snickers?
Yeah, Snickers, yeah, that's the bad thing. I love going to the sauna. I love that. I used to like jacuzzis until I found out about the germs that are in it. I don't go into that. I'm like, no, okay. But I like going to the sauna. I love watching films, so I like to go out and films. And one of the things I really like to do is I hate flowers. I don't see the
Really?
point. I like flowers. I don't because
Were you about to say you don't see the point?
no, but once yeah, I don't see the point.
What?
Let me explain.
Is it the point?
Let me explain, okay? No, but let me
Started
explain.
off really well.
Sometimes you got to resist the usual, right? You got to resist the usual, all right? Flowers are supposed to be in the ground. Why are you picking them? When you pick the flower out the ground, it's dead. So there's no more life. So when it was, flowers, okay, and then it attracts green fly and bottle fly and all those other kinds of fly. So I don't really necessarily like them. However, my wife likes them. And so I realized, look, sometimes, okay, you got to be able to buy some stuff that your wife likes, even though you don't understand it, and I will go and okay. So every now and then I'll make sure I buy her, you know, out of surprise, because she doesn't expect me to do it. So I'll buy her some really nice flowers. I'll go out of my way and I'll buy her some really nice flowers. Don't like them.
But that's how you treat your wife, and that's lovely. But that's not treating yourself?
It is, because there's a reason.
right into it.
I'm just like, yeah.
You're like, go on, ask me,
And,
ask me
okay.
how.
My third thing is I have what I call man time. So when I
I'm scared to ask about that.
No, I'm going to explain what man time is. This one's legal.
This is the theme going through this evening,
This was actually legal. My family know that there are times where if I've done some work or what have you, or if I've come home from a day and it's quite stressful, they'll look at me and my daughters will go, okay, Dad, man time, cave time. And that basically means that I go into my room, don't ask me how my day was, don't ask me how I'm doing, don't ask me if I can help you with, because I need that 10 or 15 minutes to just go and go in there and have my own cave time and just go, and then I'll come down and I'll have a conversation with anybody. And my family know that's what I'll do. I'll help you, but when I'm having man time, don't knock on the cave.
Isn't that funny? Because in treating yourself, you're having a moment of, essentially, there's I want to say nothing, but then at the same time, nothing is a great thing, because there's so little time where we're disconnected from online and noise. So, and when you're having that time, is that a meditation time for you, or is it just literally
Sometimes it's just being able to just, as I say, to be able to sit down and
I was tweeting.
it's all right. Sometimes just being able to. Okay, I'm going to get myself into trouble here, but I'm going to say it anyway. We've been married for 20 years. Okay, so we've been together for 27 years. For those of you trying to work out how old I'm 46, and I know. Okay, and so I thought Darren's one there. And one of the things that I learned, especially when we got premarital counselling before we got married, and one of the things that we really learned was how to listen to each other. And one of the things was, there are some times where my wife would say certain things and I'd be like, oh Lord, do I actually have to listen to this? But then I had to be present to hear it. And on the flip side, she had to understand that there are times where I just want to have my moment, where I don't want to hear what's being done, I don't want to hear what the stress that you've gone through, I just have to have my time. And it's a kind of, there's a proverb, I don't understand, I can't remember who said it, but it says you can't serve people from an empty cup. And so for me, I've got to be able to be full, and I've got to be filled, or even a half filled, to be able to then come and be honestly present with you. So I need that time, because if otherwise than that, I'm not going to be fully present. And my wife and both of my daughters appreciate, they understand that.
Writing that down.
Write it down.
Yeah. Lovely. Okay, yes, we've got 5 minutes. You can't serve people from an empty cup. Love that. Yeah, go for it. We've got 5 minutes
Cool.
for questions.
So, you and Darren are pretty great friends, loads in common. But what do you disagree about? What do you argue about?
I think we're both optimists, but I think Darren is a bit more optimistic than I am. Not in a bad way. And we had a bit of a conversation on Twitter this week. We were talking about careers and how do you shape careers and what I mean. We're having a to and fro, and I was just like, look, it just pisses me off sometimes. You go into schools, and I don't know about anybody here, but most people I know have had really bad, really shitty careers advice, even as adults. And so for me, I always look at it this way: what can we do? What are the little touch points that we can have? So we were having a conversation around that, and in principle, we agree on a lot of stuff. But in terms of delivery or the way that it's done, sometimes we will disagree, and it's healthy. I think that's what makes our friendship survive, that we do have those bits of tension. I can't specifically say what they all are, but we definitely have different ways as to how that will be delivered. And plus, I'm better looking than him as well, so that's an issue for him that he has to deal with.
We don't disagree on that though.
We've got time for one more question.
There was a lady.
Yeah.
Oh,
Okay. Well,
sorry.
we'll take 2 super quickly.
Okay, and I'll answer super fast.
Yeah. Go for it.
What does fill your cup?
That's a quick answer.
Silence.
You can't really serve from empty, yeah?
It's a good question.
I'm just making sure that I give you the right answer.
Thank you.
Okay?
I'm just being...
So what fills my cup is being at peace with myself. When I'm at peace with myself, and what I mean by that is not necessarily having all the answers, but there are certain, every day I go through stuff, there are questions that are always going through my head, and when I say fill my cup, if I'm going to serve you, I've got to be present. If you come to me and you say, Dave, I want to talk to you about where I want to go in my career or my business, or there's something that's going on in my friendship, in order for me to be able to do that with you, I need to be totally present and I need to be non-judgmental. I will come with my biases, but I need to be present. And in order to do that, I have to be at peace with myself. So the meditation, the gratitude allows me to be at peace with myself, and I go, do you know what? I'm fully here to serve you in that position, and that's what fills my cup.
Alignment. Thank
Yeah. Did you say alignment? Was
Alignment.
That? Thank you. That was a quick answer.
So since you cannot join every fight you see,
Yes.
how do you have a strategy to pick your fights? How do you decide which one you join and which one you don't?
It really dawned on me quite about a year ago how much, especially when you're in the social space, how much influence you have. And a friend said that to me. He said, you've got 10,000 followers on Twitter. Do you not think that's some extent of influence? And he made me do this exercise. So I went through my LinkedIn, my Twitter, my email list, my Facebook, and what have you. And there was a realm of influence of about 20-odd thousand. And so what I've realized is that even before an argument starts, sometimes if I put out an opinion or a piece, or I write an article about something that I'm really passionate about, and I can push people's boundaries, but also give the understanding that where I'm coming from, sometimes that stops me from actually even getting into the fight. So for example, I wrote an article about 3 weeks ago called A Room Full of White Men. And it was an article about me being sometimes going into a room and trying to explain to somebody in the work that I do, sometimes I'm the only black guy in that room. And, well, here, okay, I'm the only black guy in that room. And sometimes, what does that feel for individuals who will go into that and not know how to deal with that? What are the lessons that I've learned? And I started to challenge diversity, because I said a lot of times, diversity training, in my opinion, puts people's backs up. Because a lot of people feel, oh my God, all the languages that is being used. And I said, for me, I prefer to use communication skills. Are we listening to each other? Are we talking the same language? Because if we're not, it doesn't matter what diversity training you're doing, you're not going to be able to get people on board. And that sparked a hell of a lot of conversation and 2 pieces of work, I might hasten to add. But then when other people came to me and they started to have a conversation with me about unconscious bias, privilege, Black Lives Matter, all these kinds of stuff that comes online, I was then able to go, just have a look at my article and see what my opinion is, and that stopped me from getting involved in the fight. So sometimes it's preempting it, thinking what's going to happen, and then pointing people in that direction.
Lovely. Our time is up. Thank you so much.